From Kanye West renting out a stadium to propose to Kim Kardashian to engagement videos gone viral on the internet, it seems like asking someone to marry you isn't just about getting down on one knee anymore. But is a headline-worthy proposal what women really want? And I want to start with you. You have a wonderful blog on the Huffington Post, which is below in our resource well, called The Real Truth About Boring Men and the Women Who Live With Them. The first line is that not every guy proposes with lip-syncing, rolling cameras, and a choreographed entourage. What message did you want to send to readers about that?
I guess I wanted to say that it's not about how a man proposes that makes him romantic or not. It's how a man purposes to lay his life down. It's not about the script of the proposal, but about sacrificial passion, about sacrificing your life. So I think in social media in this day and age, women have these expectations that if I'm really loved, he's going to propose like this. And men have these expectations that if I really love her, I've got to perform like that. And it's not about creativity necessarily. It's about reliability long-term for the marriage. So I think great proposals are all fun and lots of bling and we all can clap and it's great. But really it's not about the proposal, it's about the marriage long-term.
I think people love watching these proposals. I mean, they're over the top, they're fantastic. They rack up millions and millions and millions of views. And our readers love them. But I would say as a whole, I'm not sure all of our readers would want the same kind of proposal. And those statistics really speak to that. You know, a lot of people want something that's more private, more low-key, a little bit more personal, sentimental. And, you know, just because you're doing a low-key proposal doesn't mean it's not really special. You can like bring in really nice elements from your relationship and, you know, make it a really sentimental, special moment for you. It doesn't need to be the most over-the-top thing ever.
Dawn, when you got engaged, what was it like? Was there a Jumbotron? Were there cameras? Did it go viral?
Not hardly. We were hiking up by Mount Hood, and my husband and I met because we both love hiking, and he kept saying, come on down this really steep trail, and I'm not really fond of really steep trails, but he's kept insisting, and part of that is he challenges me, and that's another great part of our marriage. And so I said, okay. And so he says, you got to come over here. There's this really great view. And so I went over and we made it to the edge. And so we were sort of sitting there. He was really low key. And there's this great view of Mount Hood. That's just right in your face. It's just incredibly majestic view. And then he sort of started off by saying, yeah, and he was just trying to play it really cool and low key and everything. And he says, you know, I wanted to ask you if you'd be willing to be my wife. And I was just like, oh, yes, of course. So it was just, you know, so personal. And that's what brought us together. And it was just the intimacy of the moment that, you know, it's something that brought us together and it just was who we were. So I think that's really important that you really have to factor that in of who the audience is, so to speak.
That day I was like really nervous. We were designing our ring together, but it wasn't going to be ready for a few months. So what I did was have them give me what we call a stunt double to surprise Gloria with the engagement. And we went to this place that was dining in the dark. So it was completely, like all you could hear was the voice. Like you couldn't see her. I was just like holding hands. And she almost didn't get it. I asked her, I said, you know, would you like to spend the rest of your life with me? And she goes, sure, honey, that's great. I want to do that. And I'm like, okay, that didn't land. I'm like, let's try that again. Like she's not getting it. She had to ask the second time. And then she caught on and was like, yes, I love it. And, you know, the ring and the whole deal. So.